We know the country well. We have colleagues who are from here. We have relationships, and importantly, we have encouragement from the company. Right? That's an important thing, and we have really good assets. But they're not our assets; they belong to the nation, right? So it's a tremendous resource. I spend a lot of part of my life looking for stuff like this. Right? When you find these big fields, 3 billion barrels, these are world-class resources. Right? You guys should feel proud of what you have in this country. It's nature has sort of given this bounty, right? It's a blessing, and we feel privileged that we are in a position where we're looking after it. We feel privileged that we have the opportunity to invest. And I think part of when I came on board, I looked at this and I said, this is remarkable, right? How do we make ourselves strong? How do we put in place plans that will deliver value, and not like in 5 years' time, but today? Right? So I think it's a conviction around the resource. It's the history we have. It's the relationships. It's the people. Look, I mean, this is like I said. We feel like I come here and I feel like I'm at home. So I think these things matter, right? So that's in terms of the plans, and our confidence around that. You asked about perhaps kind of outlook and demand and things like that. And I'm not an economist, so probably not well qualified to describe that. But I read a lot of stuff. Right? And what I will submit to you is that most people who are projecting, right, for the next 20, 30 years, you're going to see, demand not very different from where we are today, right? And remember that oil is a naturally declining resource. It requires continuous investment. So it's not like if I should set up a shoe factory, I produce 100 shoes today, tomorrow I'll still produce 100 shoes. The problem here is because it's nature and it's driven by its own pressure. If you don't invest, it will decline, right? So which is why I said, I think when you see a lot of Western media, it's almost like, it's finished. Right? But when you look at people, I'm from India. I could, I go there, and I haven't been there recently. But when you go there, people are aspiring to own cars and scooters and motorcycles, and there's a power shortage. And you go to China, and it's easy for somebody to sit in New York or London and sort of predict these things. But where we go and work, it's different, right? There are real people. As the economies are improving, there's an aspiration to improve their quality of life. Energy poverty is a big thing, right? To give you guys a sense, I mean, the gas that we supply to Ghana Gas, GNGC, you get LPG from that, right? And that LPG then helps mitigate in people's homes, right? So you're not burning biomass or fuel or firewood and stuff. That's a real thing, right? So I think it's a complex system, but in a simple way, we're kind of saying, look, the oil industry isn't going away.